I want to see if I can egg you on. How many barrels did we buy at $4.50?
Jesus Christ.
I was just kidding. But no,
enough to buy me a boat, like a very nice boat, like a Boone Lake yacht,
But no, as far
Shout out to Boone Lake, by the way. Love you, Boone Lake. Can't wait till this summer. See you soon.
The Responsibly Rowdy Podcast.
Welcome back to the Responsibly Rowdy Podcast. I'm your host, Stephen Callahan, on the hill right here in Bristol, Tennessee. And I have a very special guest today, Daniel. What's your middle name? James. Motherfucking Smith. Welcome to the couch, Danny.
Appreciate it.
Man, by the way, Danny is one of my favorite hippies, by the way. He is what we call a groupie. He could be a groupie. You got, you follow the bands around, what's your favorite band? I think it's from Urban Panic in the Street. Widespread Panic,
oh, yeah. Yep, all the way from Athens, Georgia.
But speaking of which, guys, while we're talking about some music, we're coming off the heels of the biggest show we have ever had right here in Bristol, Tennessee. Shadow of the Moon, Grateful Dead tribute band, sold the out. Shout out to Jamie Dove and Travis Woodall and company. These guys never disappoint. And thank you for all the listeners out there that came to the show. I hope you had a great time. I know the next morning I was definitely feeling a little dead, if you know what I mean. But I think that goes to show you guys what we have planned. It's a really great lineup for the rest of the year. We'll get into here in just a second and later on in the show. But, that's why we built Bristol. We built it for speed. We built it for large crowds. We built it for a damn good time. Right, Cody?
You're goddamn right.
So anyway, guys, I've had a lot of people on the couch throughout the podcast, and thank you all that have gave a listen to us. I think, we're probably somewhere in about almost 30,000 listens or something like that.
Last time I checked, we were at 27,138. That's what went into the annual report. So Thank you to all 27,000 of you.
Yeah, appreciate you guys, man. We're getting hopefully better at this in the short amount of time that we've kicked this off. And huge shout out to Cody and Jalil behind the mic over there for
happy birthday, Jalil.
Happy birthday to Jalil.
Thanks, guys.
Holla, holla.
He's officially old enough to drink now.
Yeah, right. He's still 10 years away from a hangover, but he can drink.
But so guys, I got a really good guest on the couch here today, Danny Smith. So Danny, most of you may or may not know if you're a follower of Tennessee Hills. Danny is our master brewer.
Damn right.
Head brewer, master brewer.
It's the HBIC, the head brewer in charge. Guys, a couple years ago, well, let's reverse that back a little bit. 12 years ago, 2014, Jessica and I had no inclination of getting into the beer game. And, fast forward to 2020, and we met John Henritzi at JRH Brewing Company. And John called me and he said, hey, have you guys ever thought about getting into the beer business? And so Jessica and I went down to JRH, kind of inconspicuously took a look around. Meanwhile, Danny was on the back porch. What were you doing, Danny? It was a baby shower. Not my baby, but we're having a baby shower.
So that was his way on spying on the new owners, I think, to be honest with you. But Danny, we like to say Danny came along with the furniture. He was the only thing in that whole brew house I think we really kept besides the brewing equipment. And so that's how we got into the beer business. There was a couple things there, Tennessee Hills, we thought at the time, and we still do think that, it's a pretty powerful brand, especially here in the Northeast Tennessee region. Getting into the beer game was definitely another way for us to kind of test our brand power. And so
I'm not going to sit here and lie through my teeth and say, hey, I was a craft brewer. I'm definitely a craft distiller at heart. There's a lot more money in craft distilling, if you know what I mean, guys out there.
You got to wait a lot longer.
But as far as craft brewers go, I knew we wanted to make great beer. There was three ingredients to success in Johnson City, and number one, we had to have a good location, which we did. JRH Company. Yep. Shout out to John. John did a great job down there, and I don't blame you for leaving, John. If you're listening to this, I hope you're doing well. We'll probably see you later on this summer sometime. And then the other one is you have to have a great brand. And then obviously you have to have great products. And the way that you have great products is you hire great people. And I think that was one of the things that we did out of the gate that, we didn't really question. So, hey, Danny, you brew beer? Yep. You love making beer? Yep. You have creative freedom. So, Danny, kind of tell me, like, what was that, like, whirlwind
Okay.
like?
So my job interview.
Yeah.
So this was a Friday at JRH. At the time, the JRH brew staff, everybody was in school and everybody was in class on Friday. So John and Jill would just let me go work the bar and I'd, get paid the same. And you came staggering in,
It's like
clearly hungover.
Case of beer. You got paid a case of beer.
But
now he's getting paid 2 cases of beer.
and a half a bottle of whiskey. But you came in and you said, "Can you make a light lager?" I was like, "Yeah, of course." And he said, "If you make a light lager, you can do whatever you want, whatever else you want with the rest." I was like, "All right, game on."
Yeah.
And that's when Sunrise in the Hills was born.
Sonny boy,
Dude.
Sunrise in the Hills. Danny, I got to tell you, man, it's been our top seller for
How long have we been open?
5 years.
Yeah.
5 years. Damn, we're almost 5 years old in Johnson City now. Holy hell. Wow, Jalil, you were still in like grade school.
Diapers.
I was in diapers.
But yeah, Danny, I'm kind of jumping all over the place, and I apologize for that. But we brought you on complete creative freedom.
Yep.
Said we'll take care of the branding, the marketing. You take care of the rest. The end result of that was we were voted best craft brewery in the whole Tri-Cities region. Johnson City's
over and over.
Over and over and over. We won so much we got tired of winning, I'm telling you. Just when I thought we couldn't win anymore, I won again.
What happened was.
But congratulations, Danny. I
Thanks,
really
man.
appreciate you coming on board. So I don't know if a lot of our viewers have really know your backstory or not, but I know your backstory. So you used to work in the healthcare field before you became a home brewer, right?
I was a scrub tech in a GI clinic. So if you want a shit show every day,
Finger
go do that.
licking good.
But
Finger licking good.
you learn cross-contamination very, very well in that setting, I promise. And cleanliness is, next to godliness, which is all we do in brewing, is clean. So it's meant to be.
That's hilarious. That's crazy, man. I was actually going to bring that up. Thanks for beating me to the punch.
Gotcha.
I appreciate that. So yeah, man. So you were doing that job. Kind of give our audience a little bit of a spill. How did you get into craft brewing? What made you love it? What made you want to pursue it? What was the pathway to actually getting to JRH and then actually coming on board with Tennessee Hills?
So working in healthcare, I really learned to appreciate science and process and procedure and cleanliness and how every move that you make directly affects what comes next. So I really learned to appreciate that quite a bit. And so once I got to the point where I didn't want to work for any more doctors, there was one little chapter in there that you left out that is kind of my intro to home brewing, but that was when I sold real estate.
Oh shit, I forgot that.
If you want to hear me turn into a stuttering idiot on the phone, watch me make a cold call. So while Sheena thought I was at home, making cold calls, I was brewing in the garage with the dog and just dialing in recipes. And she was so worried. I'm making 5 gallons of beer at a time. And she's like, how long does it take 5 gallons of beer to go bad? I was like, I don't know, sweetie. 3-6 months, depending on what I'm making. Shit, we never had a keg last longer than like 2 weeks in that house. So she was far more supportive of that hobby than me coming home drunk after shooting 160 on a golf course. And turns out you can invite people over for brew day. Apparently at the time, everybody thought we were drinking it that day. No, they just came over and watched me boil some wort.
Come over and watch you boil wort, man. Just hang
throw
out
some cornhole and just
garage.
BYOB. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. So you found your passion for brewing, and then I think your first brewing job was with Gypsy Circus. No. Sorry, Sleepy Owl.
Sleepy Owl Brewing. Yeah, shout out to Sleepy Owl. I missed that place, man. That was a gem.
Yeah.
They were the original craft brewery in this area. Whenever the craft beer actually started. So Brian Knatzer gave me a shot, and he was a badass. I miss Brian. I'd love to drink a beer with him
Brian
again.
Was a great guy. Yep.
But yeah, so got my foot in the door there. Unfortunately, he ran into some health issues, and Sleepy Owl didn't make it. So that's when I went to JRH. And when I was working at JRH, we were busy, but needed a little bit extra, a few extra hours a week. So went and worked over at Gypsy Circus with Aaron Carson and Ben Smith. And
shout out to Ben too, man.
Ben's a badass. Damn it, I said that on a microphone. He's gonna hear it.
I saw him the other day at Thirsty Orange. By the way, great festival, good turnout. Ben's he's on the ball, man. So
yeah, I'm glad they paid up and got some good weather this year. I remember the last time I participated in home brewing, it was snowing. I think the only reason I placed is because I brought a patio heater and everybody just hung out in front of my tent the whole time. I gotta play the game.
Damn it, that's what it takes, Jalil. Next time we want to win that thing, wait till the weather gets below 40. We're good. We're good.
We can wear hoodies while we do it.
Booties? Say boobies or booties?
I think he said hoodies, but
hoodies.
Bill Belichick said no days off in Foxborough, right?
No days off.
It doesn't matter if it's 10 degrees outside. You put in the work, and that's what we do here at Tennessee Hills.
That's what we do, man. We go to work. But Danny, so all right, we're back on track.
Back on track.
So I really appreciate the backstory there.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really cool because that's the number one story that I get asked almost daily is, man, how did you get into this? Basically I just tell everybody I was born with a superpower. But you have that story. Thanks for sharing it with us. Really appreciate it.
Yep. Well, I gotta interject on that story, and I just gotta thank Sheena on that one because there was a point where I was ready to get out of the industry, and we had not a screaming match, but one of those real stern talking tos in the kitchen.
Oh,
and
I've heard.
I was like, I'm ready to, I don't know if I can keep doing this. And she put her finger in my face and said, "No, you've come this far. You're staying in it." And no shit, it was 2 weeks later whenever y'all showed up and toured JRH.
Wow.
And,
Holy hell.
yeah. So for better or worse, this is Sheena's fault.
Thanks, Sheena. Thank you, Sheena. We appreciate you. We love Sheena, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She's a dime. But yeah, so Danny, we got the brewery open.
Yep.
It's the Brewstillery, right? So we were the first brewery and distillery under one roof in the state of Tennessee. And so we became the first brewstillery in Tennessee. Along with that, we've done a couple good things, very cool things. We kind of combined brewing and distilling. Tell me about some of the projects we've worked on, or tell our crowd, audience about some of the projects we've worked on. How we kind of mesh that under one roof, especially during what I call the lag phase of Bristol being built. What the hell were we doing? Because I sure as hell can't remember.
Right. I had to go back to my notes before we did this. Yeah. But just some of the stuff that we have done, and there's a lot more, coming down the road, or coming up in the future in projects that we've been thinking about. But obviously having a distillery attached, having whiskey barrels sitting around, especially barrels that are dumped on one side of the room, and then the whiskey dumped out, and then they roll them across the room, and I fill them up with beer. Man, that is an absolute luxury from a brewer's standpoint. Normally, if you get a barrel that's dumped in the last 2 months, you're doing really good.
Does not get much better than that.
No.
For sure. So, we'll talk about some of the products that we're doing recently up here in Bristol here in just a little bit. But very cool thing is we were trying to kind of scale up our distilling program, and so we basically converted our mash tun in Johnson City into pretty much a mash cooker. And so we started making, number one, we were making a lot of single malt whiskey, which I'm very excited about, guys. You never know what a distillery is up to until they put a product out. Well, I'm here to tell you right now, we're going to we made a hell of a lot of single malt whiskey, and we might put some of that out later this year. Very excited about that. It's really going to tie into our Appalachian roots. And
which one are we thinking? Are we going to do the one with the honey or the milk chocolate?
Well, I think we're probably going to do a little bit of both. So the cool thing is, the timing of this kind of lined up pretty well. That was kind of coming out of COVID, so we couldn't get 53-gallon barrels, and so a lot of the barrels that we were getting were smaller barrels, which are kind of frowned upon in the distilling industry. Definitely that's not a long-term game, but it's definitely a very a great channel to be able to test some mash bills and how they're going to interact with some oak and things of that nature.
Proving ground.
Proving ground. And so we did a lot of honey single malt, anything from 5 gallons all the way up to 30 gallons. You guys in the back?
Yeah, so for us laymen back here who are very much marketers and content guys and not chemists and not brewers, from a barrel perspective, 2 questions.
Yeah.
Why is a smaller barrel something that is maybe frowned upon in the industry, and why does that allow us to do more experimental things? And then Danny, that's for you, Stephen, and then Danny, for you, why is that like a godsend to have barrels that you can roll across the production floor and then immediately fill with beer?
You want to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a lot of people in the industry right now, and it's been going on for years. You can't replace time, right? A mature whiskey is exactly what it sounds like. It is a very mature whiskey. You can increase the surface area to oak ratio. You can extract all the beautiful things that the oak has to offer, and kind of gives you a really nice picture of kind of what if. So the smaller the barrel, the more surface area to volume ratio. Thing is you can't, I swear on my life, and I've yet to be convinced otherwise, that you cannot age a great whiskey in like a 15-gallon barrel or a 5-gallon barrel. Our 30-gallon barrels, I think if you baby them right, and you know what you're doing, and you're on the wheel with them, I think you can make it. I think you can make an exceptional whiskey. But the thing is, it's not going to be a 10, 12, 14, 6-year-old, however old whiskey. But it's a really good opportunity for us to profile recipes. And we did that because literally when I was buying barrels 4, 5, 6 years ago, whenever it was, all the cooperages were telling me that, hey, it's going to be 2027 before you guys get barrels. Everything's backlogged. Well, we were paying $450 a barrel now, or back then. Now they're down to $196. So who the was wrong about that? It's like gas prices in Iran or something. I don't fucking get it, man. You want to get me pissed off? Get me talking about barrel prices. I'm not talking about barrels of gasoline either. So, but yeah, man. So all of a sudden, we were laying down pretty much anything and everything we could in smaller barrels because pouring out our own juice out of our own barrels is very important to us here. And now we're doing that. And so we'll talk about the Tennessee 250 a little bit later. Danny, I'm going to throw it over to you because I'm still pretty pissed about barrels right now. So when you go from 450 to 195, 196.
I'm going to see if I can egg you on. How many barrels did we buy at 450?
Jesus Christ.
I was just kidding. But no,
enough to buy me a boat, like a very nice boat, like a Boone Lake yacht,
But no, as far
shout out to Boone Lake, by the way. Love you, Boone Lake. Can't wait till this summer. See you soon.
Marker 2.
Marker 2.
May 25th. 1st, 22nd.
Yeah,
We'll
May
see you there.
22nd, by the way. Yeah, we'll be out at Lakeview the Saturday before Memorial Day, hanging out with our friend Chad and Tony out there and pouring some really good Mark II low-calorie Mexican lager.
And we might not even have to
low carb.
pour.
Thank you. Low carb.
We might not have to pour it. You can just take a bucket of beer and pour it your damn self. We have it in cans.
Yeah, we're going to put it in cans.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, put it in cans. Put it in cans. Yeah,
yep.
Look out. And by the way, guys, while we're talking about that, we just signed a contract for Knoxville, Chattanooga, and Nashville. So we're going west, baby. Jalil, hometown chat.
Chat rat, hometown, baby.
Go west, young man. Go west.
We're going west. But more particularly with our beer, we're in Northeast Tennessee, Knoxville, and Chattanooga here in the coming weeks. And then we also are in Knoxville, Northeast Tennessee, Knoxville, Chattanooga, Nashville with our spirits here within the month. So we're looking at a June 1st launch across the state. And then guess what? We're coming for you, Memphis. We're coming for you.
John Morant, look out.
Who? Sorry.
Sorry.
So Danny, thank you for that, Stephen and Danny. Again, our question: why is it so exciting to have whiskey barrels that are empty for a brewer?
Okay,
right across the
fresh
production
dumped
floor.
whiskey barrels. Yes. Okay, so a fresh dumped whiskey barrel. A few things. When a whiskey barrel's full, it's wet, so the staves stay swelled up. I'm not worried about
Soaked.
soaked. So there's not going to be a lot of oxygen coming in and out of the barrel, during the aging process. Two, what are we putting stuff in barrels at? 107 to 112 proof. I know that barrel's clean. There's that eliminates a lot of potential pathogen pickup, and three, just that residual liquid that's left in the wood is as the barrel warms up and cools off, those flavors are going to get carried over and into the beer and into the finished product.
Yeah.
So it's really cool when we start rolling barrels across the floor, empty or dump them, roll them, fill them back up, and let them chill for a minute.
So, by the way, we're on this. I feel like we need to do this right now. We did a Madeira barrel aged stout
Yes. Okay.
this past year. Let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah. That's such a complex beer.
If you don't like that, you might as well go back to light beers.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
Light years for light beers. Get out of here. Back to the moon you go.
But yeah, it's Danny's Irish Stout. It's a lower alcohol content for a beer that goes into a barrel that you'll see from a lot of places. We do pick up 1 to 2% of ABV just because the barrels are so fresh, which is a beautiful thing. And then so it was the Madeira cask originally, so you get some dark fruit notes
dark
to
fruits
it
in there.
that carries through. I think what we've got now had the chocolate single malt in it most recently.
Yeah.
So with our stout being kind of mocha dark chocolate, you get some milk chocolate notes out of it, and man, that's a beer you just want to slow sip on. And the more that one warms up, whether might not be that time of year for it right now, but this fall we are locked and loaded on it, sitting by a fire with that thing in your hand, and as it warms up, that's.
It's a damn good beer, man. I challenge you guys to find a better barrel aged beer here in Northeast Tennessee than those two beers. And they're going to be out here. They're going to be on our taps. This coming fall. So, like Danny said, we're locked and loaded, baby.
Yeah, first chilly breeze we feel, those things are going on tap, and it is game on.
Yeah. But so talking about the Brewstillery, another cool thing that we've done is thankfully, we made a lot of Tennessee whiskey. So, I talked about this with Jason on the last show. Is we made 300. We distilled 300-gallon batches in a single year, pretty much. The last year that we were in production,
301 if we hadn't spilt that one.
Oh shit!
I said it. I'm sorry.
It was 4 a.m. and I was hungover. Okay. Jesus.
My favorite part was your hand on the hip, just watching it run down the parking lot.
Yep. Shout out to Summers and Taylor for cleaning the parking lot. You guys come over and cleaned up 350 some odd gallons of
Tennessee whiskey mash about 5 o'clock in the morning, so thanks, Grant. Appreciate you. But yeah, it would have been 301. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. But yeah, it was really cool because we were able to basically double our distilling capacity by joining the brewery. And so our brewery was pulling overtime while it was making beer. It was also making whiskey wash. We were taking it down to the distillery, distilling it. We put it in a barrel, and then boom! Tennessee 250. America. Fuck yeah. America. Hey, we're coming for you guys. July 4th. Happy birthday, America. By the way, we are the only distillery to be asked to bottle and package a Tennessee 250 product in conjunction with the Tennessee 250. Thank you, Danny. Appreciate that. And it looks like I've already drank a couple of those. Let's have another one. So this is our wheated Tennessee whiskey. We're not on public television, so we can't do a shot, right?
I don't know. Y'all tell me. Can we take shots?
You guys
on
can
TV?
take shots.
Okay.
First commercially marketed wheated Tennessee whiskey.
First commercially marketed wheated Tennessee whiskey across the state, we think. But guys, we're very proud of this one. This is a double pot distilled Tennessee whiskey. So the mash bill is, drum roll, 65% corn, 25% wheat, 10% barley, and a very proprietary yeast strain that we use here. And actually, I brought back some yeast from Kilbag in Ireland. Danny,
They gave it to you.
Yeah,
You didn't steal it.
They gave it to me. I borrowed it, brought it back. So pretty
Happened
proud
to
of
have a
this.
sanitary bag in your pocket while you're touring the place.
But this is my shameless plug for this product, guys. Hey, if you're watching this, listen to this. This is going to be across the state. We really appreciate it. This is one of the very first products that. I'm very proud of, and I feel like it projects kind of where we're going, our brand vision, and where we want to go as a company. So this is our first launch. We've got this in the warehouse at almost 5 years now. So, over the next couple years, this is how we're going to rattle a lot of cages. I actually submitted this to some international spirits competitions.
Nice.
We only mention the names if we win gold, by the way. But very proud of this. All the work that you and I have done in this. Jason, coming in at normal time, banker hours, and distilling this. I was there at 4:30. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate that. So anyway, Tennessee 250, guys. So let's talk about Danny the Professor.
For better or worse.
Danny the Professor. So I don't know if a lot of our listeners really realize or not, but we founded and funded the Brewing, Fermentation, Distillation Sciences program at East Tennessee State University. I believe that's in its, fifth year?
Fourth or fifth.
Fourth or fifth year. So we gave them a pitch on this program. We had all the right people at the right table, and before we left the meeting, they agreed, and we got that program off the ground and running. Dave Lawrence, Dave was our first brew chemist. Used to work as a chemist over at Eastman. Dave came in and pretty much kind of headed up that program, but with your support, with your brewing knowledge, really kind of molded that program into what we thought it could be, and it's actually still going right now. So we do 25 students per semester or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I'm definitely more the the hands-on lab instructor. Whenever we have the class come in and do the whiskey washes, or we've done single malt, we've done Tennessee whiskey. They'll actually come in for the mashing process. We'll ferment it out and then bring it back the next week and actually run it through the little 30-gallon hybrid still that we've got in Johnson City. So. Yeah, that's been a lot of fun. I tried to teach one class, and if you want to hear me start talking like Slim Shady, put me in front of a class. Shout out to Shannon, bless her heart. I had a 3-hour presentation ready that she listened to twice. I went to class, and it was done in like an hour and 5 minutes. I was like, that's all I got. Took a bow and stormed out of the room. So, talk a little fast, you need to listen a little faster, so I want to slow down to catch up. Sorry. Been listening to 50 Cent today.
Funny as hell. Well, shout out to Dave. Dave Lawrence was the first Tennessee Hills employee to ever retire officially. So hope fishing's going well for you, Dave, wherever you are. You and your damn Bronco driving around town like you're going to climb a mountain or something, you know. So, Danny, you've been a very crucial part in that. Got to give a shout out to Dan Rowe, by the way, over at Yeehaw, which it's very hard to come out of my mouth is but Dan Rowe is a great guy. We love you, Dan. Dan, thank you for stepping in.
And, I like working with Dan any chance I get.
We love Dan. You never know. Dan can play his cards right one day. Come to the dark side. It's like Hulk Hogan. In the NWO days. We're gonna start wearing black. Dyeing our beard the color of yours or something.
Oh, shit,
All right, Danny. So moving along, we got this beer.
We got a few
that you made. Mm-hmm. It's a dark beer.
Yep.
It's a stout.
About the Irish Stout
beer.
Yep. Dude, I love that beer. That's one of the one of the few beers that actually started in my garage, and I don't think I changed it. Like I just scaled that one up and ran with it. I studied that recipe for months, trying to get it right. Now that we're doing it on a production scale and actually distributing it. We've added some steps to it to make it a little bit more true to style, but as far as just a dry Irish stout, hell, I even saw Jalil drink a few of them.
Jalil
He barely drinks.
Probably one of my favorite stouts right now.
Damn right.
Jalil's got the liver of a mouse.
And Jalil does not drink beer. He's normally like let me get the fruited beer
martini guy.
Let me get a
Truly or
cosmopolitan.
Oh shit, he's a truly
He
guy.
loves Danny's Irish Stout.
Jalil, I don't know if you're rowdy, bro. I don't know if you're rowdy. Yeah, so Danny, so you named a beer after yourself.
I did. You want to talk about how we named beers? I'm pretty sure it was the day before we opened the brewery. It might have been the day we opened the brewery. We were going to call it Tennessee Hills Stout, Tennessee Hills IPA, and you're like, we got to name everything. And Dave suggested Danny's Irish Stout, and I was vehemently against it. And he's like, Danny's an Irish name; it'll be fine. And here it is. But
here it is. Well, that's plausible. That's probably right. Yeah,
but naming beers is tough. I'd call them all $7 and be done with it. But
some are more than others. But $7 is the price.
Yeah.
Ass cash or grass, whatever you got. But anyway, so Danny. The guys in the back are saying, ask me a question. Is it responsibly or rowdy? Danny.
So we're actually changing it up. We're going to ask you guys the question.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
plot
Let's do
twist.
this.
Do I need a fresh beer for this?
See, that makes way more sense. Thank you guys for jumping in.
We
Appreciate
can take
that.
a break if you'd like.
Yeah,
and
just
refresh
quick
our
enough.
beers.
Yeah. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for listening so far. We've got the second half of the show coming up. We're going to take a quick break. Make sure if you're taking a break, go to your local food city if you haven't already, or any Waggles gas station, anywhere you find Tennessee Hills products. Grab you a 6-pack, run back to the couch, finish up listening to our podcast. We've got a great second half coming up. Until then,
Drink with us.
Drink with us. Stay rowdy, guys. Hey, guys. Thanks for listening to the Responsibly Rowdy podcast. Remember, we just did a partnership with Tennessee's oldest combination candy bar, the Goo Goo Cluster. We are out in the wild now from Northeast Tennessee all the way to outside of Nashville. So if you want to try the Tennessee Hills Goo Goo, make sure you ask all your bartenders, ask your retailers. We really appreciate the business. And looking forward to seeing you guys out in the wild. And until then, stay responsibly rowdy. Hey, welcome back to the Responsibly Rowdy podcast. Appreciate you guys hanging in there with us. Hope you were like us and went and got a tasty beverage.
Or two.
Danny,
I had a couple. Cheers.
Do we have a couple? Cheers. We had a couple. Cheers all around. Cheers all around, boys.
Okay.
That's how we do things. Well, we got to drink it. Hey, happy birthday, Jalil.
Oh, he's going to be drinking that beer the whole rest of the night.
Oh, he's just
It'll
a
finish
baby.
the rest of this episode.
He's just a baby. All right, Danny. So we're going to go into one of my favorite segments of the podcast. Is this responsibly or is it rowdy? The only question I have to ask to you is how the hell do we get kicked out of the only noodle bar in fucking downtown Asheville?
They were being overly responsible, and I wasn't fucking being rowdy. I asked for a beer. I saw somebody else get a beer, and that dude got mad. I knew you were going to say something about that. I got kicked out of 2 bars. The second one, maybe I might have deserved, but
we definitely got kicked out of the noodle bar, whatever the noodle bar is in Asheville.
I'm sorry. I still love you.
Love you guys. We hope to be back soon.
I won't go.
We're not on the blacklist.
BYOB in that bitch.
Hey, I always need some ramens. I got a call. Sorry, I'm very important, guys. All right, throw it back to you guys. Responsibly or rowdy?
All right, Danny. Drinking beers out of the tank during a gubernatorial fundraising event. Responsible or rowdy?
Responsible. It's a societal preservation.
Why is that responsible?
Because I didn't drink enough to get rowdy.
Hey, we met Mayor Glenn Jacobs that day too, which he was Kane.
I took a selfie with him.
The wrestler. Here in the South we say wrestler. He's one of them wrestlers. Yeah, the guy had like an oven mitt for a hand. Yeah.
Danny, telling a customer that their favorite beer is mid when they order a Michelob Ultra or a Miller Lite at your brewery and Brewstillery. Responsible or rowdy?
I feel like it's my civic duty to let them know, so I'm going to go responsible.
Civic duty.
Don't throw shade at Michelob Ultras. I mean,
hey,
every now
I
and
love
then,
Michelob Ultra here.
until
We're
we
good
get
with
Mark or 2 in cans. I mean, you need a low carb volume beer that you can drink all day.
Yeah,
26 of and still be sober.
How do you think he
Pretty
keeps
much.
this Appalachian Trail figure?
Oh yeah.
Danny, blaring jam bands in the brew house where it's so loud that they can hear you on the floor of the Brewstillery. Responsible or rowdy?
Also responsible. I mean, you never forget people that hear good music, and that's probably the best damn music they've heard in the last 6 weeks.
I think Jalil can attest to some of that.
I can concur.
Jalil has a whole playlist of songs that I've sent him.
Responsible or rowdy? We go to Montana.
And you bought the cheapest TV that a hotel's ever sold.
I did.
Elaborate.
I did. Well, number one, I had to make Danny put his brewer shoes in the closet because, oh my God.
Yeah, there's some of us working those.
And then I was probably going to get drug tested like 10 years from now, and like your feet smell is going to be in my hair somewhere.
It was a good day.
It's a terrible day.
You just call me Hoffman. I created something new.
And I did buy a new TV from a hotel. I bought a hotel and a TV. And
Republican primary was just too much.
yeah, the Republican primary was too much, guys. But it is what it is. All right, any more from you guys?
We got one more for you guys.
Okay.
So, adding more hops than the recipe calls for. Danny, is that responsible or rowdy?
I thought y'all would have given me one that I would have immediately answered rowdy on, but I think it's responsible. You got to look at what year those hops, like the harvest year from those hops, and you add 10% based on how many years ago it was.
Okay, in that case, what is the rowdiest thing that you've ever done working at Tennessee Hills, or while you've worked at Tennessee Hills, the most rowdy thing that's happened outside of your work here?
Oh, damn.
No holds barred.
Man, you might have to edit some of this out, Jalil. It's going to take me a second.
I got you, Danny.
They say right before you die, like you see your whole life flash before your eyes. Like it's a fucking movie rolling through my head right now. You got one? What comes to mind for you?
I plead the fifth, bro.
Maybe I should
I'm
plead
only
the
here
fifth on
because
that.
my agent told me to be. I'm just looking for the fucking Skittles.
Oh man, what would it be?
I think probably one of the most rowdy times we've had is when we first got the Brewstillery open. and Daphne, Scott's wife, had to go buy some cheeseburgers from
Before the place was like open, we were still like doing pilot beers and like trying different stuff, and we tried to climb those two poles in the middle of the Brewstillery, and she was like, immediately, I'm going to go buy 48 double cheeseburgers and make these assholes eat every one of them before they go anywhere. Thank you, Daphne. You saved us.
Love
that
you,
night.
Daphne. Love you, Daphne. All right, guys. That's one of my favorite segments there. So thanks for playing along, guys. If you have any suggestions, was it responsible or rowdy? Make sure you comment anywhere you find your podcast. Make sure you comment, like, share. But let us know because Danny and I, we've got some pretty familiar faces. We've been out there in the public for a long time. Let us know if you think something was responsibly or rowdy, and if we agree with it, you're in. If we don't, then I guess
we're still going to drink with you.
Go, we'll still drink with you, But so up next, what's brewing, guys? What is brewing? So Danny, give us a little bit of the landscape of the beer brand. We've got Bristol Fest coming up this May. This May, Bristol Fest is going to be our version of Oktoberfest. Am I right by saying that, guys?
Yes, sir.
We're still doing an Oktoberfest.
So
we're just doing two Oktoberfest.
Yeah, we're basically we figured out a way to do
Oktoberfest.
another Oktoberfest.
Yeah, think about
that's
Bristol
responsible
Fest.
and rowdy at the same
Yeah,
time.
absolutely,
We're just
yeah.
covering all the bases here.
Think about Bristol's Fest as Tennessee Hills' version of Oktoberfest in May, similar to Christmas in July.
Yeah.
Every May from starting this May 2026 moving forward, it's going to be jam-packed with car shows, live music, drink specials, food specials, new products, partnerships with the city of Bristol, with ETSU, everything else. But starting this May will be our version of Oktoberfest that we will own and will be as rowdy as it can possibly be while still staying responsible.
Yeah, man, we just opened up the Rowdy Bar outside. I'm super stoked about that. My favorite seat in the house. I always love to see people hanging out downstairs. Music on stage like the Shadow of the Moon. We got a lot of bands coming up pretty much definitely every Saturday. There's a couple Fridays coming up all throughout the month
Woods
of May.
to come back, man.
We got Derek Woods coming back. I don't know what date it is. You guys can fact check me on that. Derek Woods, I think, is in June sometime. One of my favorite guys to ever play at Tennessee Hills. Always brings a hell of a show.
Derek Woods will be June 20th.
June 20th.
Oh, the
guys,
first Saturday is fun.
if you guys like damn good music, come out to Tennessee Hills, Bristol, June 20th. But let's jump back a little bit. Reggae and Wine is June 30th. We've partnered with our really good friends at Crown Cuts, Craig Charles down there. Always get the first and last name. Sorry, Craig. Charles Craig Charles. But
just
man,
CC'd on that one.
you and your wife are awesome. You do so much for the community, and we're always proud to be a part of that event. And the event has grown tremendously over the last couple of years.
I know I feel bad the morning after every time I show up.
Yeah,
so
100%. Yeah, there's
This will be year 5 hosting it at the Brewstillery.
year 5, and then I think we did it 2 or 3 years at Craig's place before then. So I think it could be like in the 7th or 8th year now. Shout out to Lauren too. Lauren Maddox has been on the show. Lauren is really kind of helping herd the cats on our side of the fence. But we got a great show lined up for you guys as well. But getting back to the Bristol. So sorry guys, I got a little out of order there. Yeah, speaking of which, Danny, we've got a new beer for Bristol Fest this year, and it's a beer that we've had in the works for quite some time now. It's a Sessions beer because it is Bristol Sessions. So, Danny, tell me a little bit about that beer.
Okay, so this is a West Coast Pilsner. Just a beautiful beer in a glass. I mean, you could read through it if you wanted to. I don't know why you would, but
Well, if you're blind like me, you know.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, you had Coke bottles. Sorry, I had to.
I woke up and I was old one day. I'm sorry, man. You
Feel
know?
better.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
But no, we brought in some New World hops. I mean, I don't think some of these hops had a name at one point. They've recently been named. I'm not giving away too many trade secrets at this point, but it's just bright, fruity, citrus. I think
it's a one of a kind beer necessarily hasn't been done in this area,
Yeah.
which is really kind of tried and true to our mantra of like innovation, commitment to innovation, whatever. And so I'm really excited about this beer. And, this beer is going to be around as our seasonal release in food cities all throughout Northeast Tennessee. Knoxville probably is going to pick it up.
Oh, the artwork on the cans, got a shout out to Cody on this one. It is fantastic. I mean, it looks like you're driving through Tennessee on a guitar, and it couldn't have been
Shout out
captured
to me
that better.
and Jaleel. That is our first joint collaboration.
All right,
building a can design together, and I'm really proud of the work that we've been able to do on that, and thankful for y'all to empower us to build that design. We're really proud of the way that turned out. And don't forget, it's also the official beer of what?
The Bristol Sessions
Festival.
Bristol Sessions Festival coming up. Let's see. So it's the 100th year in 2027, or 2027 is the 100th year celebration of the 1927 Bristol Sessions, which was the very first recording of a country music album ever, right?
They call it the Big Bang of country music.
The Big Bang of country music.
So what we'll be doing is we are a founding partner with the City of Bristol, partnering with ETSU Appalachian Music Collective to do the Bristol Sessions Nights, which by the time people are hearing this, it will be public knowledge.
Kind of like Boogie Nights, but it's Bristol Sessions.
But it's
Nights.
Bristol Sessions. It's Boogie Nights for country music, sure. So we have a lineup that we're going to announce. There's websites, there's tickets, but every third Friday of every month, starting in May 2026, leading up to May 2027 and Memorial Day weekend, will be Bristol Sessions Nights, and then Memorial Day weekend 2027 will commemorate the 100th anniversary, the centennial of Bristol Sessions, the Big Bang for country music, and why Bristol is the birthplace of country music.
Boom. Thank you, Cody. Thank you. Yeah, so we've got a big damn deal coming up in 2027. You guys make sure you follow along and make sure you come out to some of the shows this year and beyond leading up to that. Man, it's such a special thing to be able to be tied to the birthplace of country music, and so much talent in this area. And so we're going to use what we do, and more importantly, you guys do, is make great beer and tell the story, and it's going to be a damn good time. So put that on your radar, guys. Also,
I'm going to interject here. We got one more sneaky beer that's getting ready to come out. The Mirage Japanese Rice Lager. I had the full flavored version of that one today. Cold, carbonated, clear as hell. Going to be out hopefully this Friday. Right, Jaleel? Yes. Yeah. So,
shit. It's going to be carbonated on tap this Friday?
Oh, it was carbonated before I left Johnson City today. Shoo, buddy.
Nice,
It's
nice.
proper.
So would you say that this is more in line with an Asahi, a Sapporo, a Kirin, Ichiban? What kind of vibe is it going for?
It's more of like a menage lager, really.
Yeah, you want three of them for sure.
Variety pack, but
You want three of them.
But no, this one won't make it to cans right now. But so you got to come see us for this one. But I know what I'm drinking all summer. I can't wait for y'all to try it. This is it's all the beers that I made at Tennessee Hills. I'm as proud of this one as I am any of the others, and I'll stand beside any of them. But this one's just complex and light and delicate and absolutely fucking crushable.
I don't drink beers much, but I do like that one.
Jalil's like, you had me at menage.
So would you compare it to, again, a Kirin, a Sapporo, or an Asahi? Those are all very different beers, but which one does it lean toward?
Sapporo is where I would lean towards on it. It was a whole bunch of jasmine rice, and I've never actually blistered after brewing a beer and stirring that rice in the boil kettle. That stuff was splashing all over me. That I looked like I had chicken pox when I went home. Sheena sent me to go get a viral test, but it's special. It's just it's a beautiful beer, and I'm super excited.
I can't wait, man. You've been talking about it for a while now, so.
Well, I mean, lager by definition is to store cold for a long period of time. So I knew as soon as I brewed it, it was going to be good. But this one's
Hell yeah.
yeah. It's
all right, guys. Well, make sure you come out and check us out with our new, what'd you say?
Mirage Japanese lager.
Japanese lager.
Sounds like a hotel in Las Vegas.
Cue the music.
Also, Two things that we don't want people to forget, Steven. We've got our Helix Society launch
So
event.
I'm getting to that. I'm working myself backwards here, guys. Sorry about that. So coming up, the very next event that we have here on the Hill is our Helix Society members event launch party. So come out to that. Really appreciate everybody that signed up to be a member of the Helix Society. This is our first year, first couple months actually. We're going to figure it out. So I'm really excited to have you guys out, eat a really good dinner, try some things that are still on the rise. Some really cool things that are like our port wine cask finish. That's a little, it's not just a port wine cask finish. It's basically, we let that go a little longer than most people let it go in a barrel,
Is
so
the gin that we're talking about in the port
no.
wine cask?
So
this is whiskey.
so it's basically our black label finish off in a port wine cask.
Buddy. All right.
Yeah, so it's definitely going to be our first, over $100 bottle of whiskey that we've ever had out. Also, we have our Sauternes. I'm going to let you guys try some of that at the event. Just remember, guys, it's not too late to join the Helix Society. If you would love to join the Helix Society.
The Helix Society?
Helix Society, man. But yeah, go to TennesseeHills.com, find the Helix Society, join, become a member today, become a part of our family, man. We have so much cool stuff going on in and around Tennessee Hills, and definitely would love to have you on board, and can't wait to see where that goes. You're going to be the first to really have, access to some of our special releases. Bring your friends and family out to a meal. It's May 9th is our members launch event. Come out May 9th and enjoy the Tennessee Hills atmosphere right here in Bristol, Tennessee, in the private space. I'm going to be there. I know Danny's going to be there.
Oh, I'm invited?
Unless he's out, jamming with a band somewhere. Cody's going to be there. Jalil's going to be there.
No, we won't.
Damn it. Well, Jason Franklin's definitely going to be there, a master distiller. He's going to be there. So, guys, come on out. Really appreciate all the love and support. That was one of the steps that I was kind of reluctant to take, was build a membership program because I wanted to make sure our members had the best experience possible. So, Cody?
Can I ask one final question of Danny before we close out here and do the tagline and everything else? Danny, for somebody who's listening and grinding away, at a job in healthcare, a job in marketing, sales, coding, whatever, that is interesting in brewing and distillation, but they're not sure that the leap is for them, what is your one piece of advice for them about taking the leap and doing something that they truly love and making it a career?
I'd rather try and fail than not try at all. Tennessee Hills was... I don't mean this in a bad way, but just I got lucky as hell, teaming or crossing paths with you guys and Scott and Daphne. And when I say you guys, I mean you and Jess. But no, that's one of the best things that ever happened to me. And you guys giving me creative freedom to make beers and. I want to make a beer for everybody, and I don't want 17 IPAs and a lager on tap. We've seen that not do well in this area, but no, try and fail and figure it out from there. If that's the worst thing that happens, you're obviously already doing something that you don't like that you can go back to. So fuck it.
Use the fire from the bridges that you're burning to fuel your future, baby.
Burn the ships.
Burning ships. Burn the ships right now. All right, guys. Well, that is a wrap for this episode of the Responsibly Rowdy podcast. Thank you all for hanging out with Danny and I and Cody and Jalil. Looking forward to the next episode. Make sure that you like and subscribe anywhere you find your podcast. Really appreciate the support there. I don't think we're going to get famous anytime soon with the podcast thing. But hey, if they want to pay us, we'll use your money very well. But all right, guys. Until then, make sure you check out all the events that we just mentioned here in the upcoming near future. And until then, stay responsibly rowdy.